All right, so we are going to establish how to create these new album cover that we kind of started the other day. Um, so let's look at what we have going on today. I know that we were kind of struggling with a lot of this stuff yesterday, so let's see if we can make it a little bit better today. Okay, so yeah, we are in our Schoology here again. Now, we have to remember our goal, okay? Our goal is to make a album cover that is similar to this. Now, what I mean by similar is not identical, right? Obviously, but because you're choosing your own artist, you're choosing whatever it is that you want to kind of put in that foreground. It doesn't necessarily have to be a musical artist, right? You can kind of choose something else if you choose, right? But the style has to fit with this idea. Okay, so I'm meaning that we're going to be using gradient maps. Again, I'm going to show you how to do that today. Meaning we're going to be manipulating text, and again, I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay, I know that the video from yesterday was a little bit confusing. I don't know if I'll have captions on this, but I will try to be slow and clear on what it is that I need you to do. Okay, so first things first, from the very beginning, all right, we need to open up Photoshop. Again, this is going to be the process of kind of what we're creating, but we're going to go to New. Okay, I want you to do 1,000 by 1,000. Okay, it's going to be simple for us to understand. Okay, now I do want you to put the background contents. Okay, I want you to make them black. All right, that's going to be easy for us when it comes to the gradient mapping. That's going to help us out the best. Okay, so 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. You don't have to worry about artboards, right? RGB is fine. Okay, and again, we're going with a black background. So this is what we should have to start off with. Okay, then the next thing that we need to do is we need to import our image that we've downloaded, right? So whatever that looks like. Okay, I'm going to do one. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to do Burger King. Okay, so I have this image. I've liked it. I got it. I'm going to file, save as. I'm going to put it into my downloads. Okay, so from your downloads, all you have to do is open up your downloads folder. Take my image. I can see here that this is my Burger King image, and I'm going to import it by clicking and dragging here. Okay. Then I'm going to adjust it. If you do not see these adjustments, okay, you should have a little button up here that says Show Transform Tools, okay, and you should be able to kind of do that. Now, again, I'm going to adjust this how I want. I don't need the whole body, right? Just something like this would be nice for me. I'm going to hit Enter. All right, then we need to create our layer, right? So we need to select. Let's go to Select Subject, and we'll let that do its work. Again, if you need to adjust any of this, that is fine. I like to go in, me personally, this is again just me. I like to go in and go back to Select once I have my little marching ants here. I like to modify, and I like to feather. I would say about 2 pixels for me. It'll just kind of get rid of that hard edge that you may get around your image, right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control J at the same time, right? Control and J together is going to create this duplicate layer here. Then what I can do is I can get rid of this background there. All right, now I have my Burger King. Okay, simple, not too crazy, just kind of what I'm looking for here. All right. The next part, okay, is going to be creating your gradient map. Now, if you look back in your folder for today, I have added this free plus sample, whatever, gradient map index pack. Okay, you're going to open that up. You're going to click here. That is going to download your file. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to Photoshop. Okay, make sure that you click on your image that you want here. You're going to go to this little half circle down here, and you're going to select gradient map. Okay, and it's going to create this automatic gradient map to you. All right, now yesterday I did not have gradient maps for you, so going through that process of creating a gradient and doing the step by step I did not show you, but now I've given you the option to have gradient maps here. Right now, gradient maps are different than our normal gradients, right? So these are our normal gradients that we have in our projects, and these, although they may look okay, they're not doing what we want. Okay, what we want is we want multi-level gradients, right? From dark to light. Okay, and how do we achieve that? Well, we achieve that through gradient maps. Okay, so you've already downloaded the file. You should have downloaded the file. If you haven't downloaded the file, go back to Schoology and download the file. Okay, once you've downloaded it, you're going to go right here to import. And then you're going to find your file there, and you're going to double click it to load it. Okay, I've already done so I'm not going to do it right now. Then you scroll all the way down to the bottom of your gradients here, and you will select here, free sample gradients, drop down menu, drop down menu, drop down menu, and you will choose one of these gradient maps, okay, to fit your style, whatever that may look like for you. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. That one looks pretty cool to me. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, one thing that we have to remember is that in layers, right, whatever is at the top will affect everything beneath it. Okay, so you see how it even affects our background there. Okay, if I only wanted it to affect this layer, the layer directly underneath it, I could right click on it and I can create a clipping mask. Okay, now you notice that it only affects the layer beneath it, right? If I go back and I release the clipping mask, it's going to affect the entirety of everything beneath it, right? Right now, I'm okay with affecting everything beneath it, okay? Now, I still need you to add at least 3 textures, okay? And the text. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the textures real quick, and then we'll move on to the text. So, again, in the textures, right, you have your textures that you had to choose from yesterday. Those are still here. Okay, I have a whole textures folder that I already have here on my computer, so I'm going to just kind of use those for the moment. Okay, and I like to go with these plastics for me. These are kind of the ones that I imported for you guys. So I'm going to go with something like this. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because it doesn't fit the entirety. Okay, then I'm going to take it back behind my gradient. Okay, behind my gradient map so that it'll have that effect. It doesn't need to be that dominant, all right? So we can lower the opacity on that right here. Lower the opacity. If you like it like this, hey, all power to you, right? But I'm going to go ahead and lower that just a little bit. Okay. But now I also want some texture in front of my person here. So again, I'm going to go to my textures and I'm going to find something that I like here. Let's go with this one. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna just stretch this out. You can adjust the entire size right here, or you can adjust. I'm gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna hold the shift key, and I'm going to just stretch it out like this for me. This does not work with everything, all right, but it does work with some things, right? So again, let me do that. All right, but now you notice I'm covering my image, but I do want that texture to be on top of my character. So I'm going to go to blend modes here. And usually if you go to something like a lighten or a screen or even a overlay, right, that kind of does the trick. But it's going to be kind of up to you. Now, what I will say, right, is that the guy goes and shows you that if you want to do something like, say, like a lighten. No, I don't want like lighten. So say if I want to do something like an overlay. All right, and I like this, but I think it's a little bit too harsh over my character here. Okay, what I can then do is I can create a mask and have my white mask here. Okay, and if I want to remove things, right, I would go to my brush tool. I would make sure that my stuff is reset to this, but then I need black on top. Okay. Then I need to have my brush tool, and I usually tend to go with just a soft brush. Way too big. Okay, but again, a brush tool. Bring that down. You can do that by your brackets, right? So left bracket makes it smaller, right bracket makes it bigger. Okay, and I can delete some of this harshness from on top of my character. Okay, and that it'll be up to you to kind of decide how you want that to look. Okay, and if I want to add it back, maybe I decided that right, white on white, right, we'll add it back a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. I like that there. And you're 2 textures in. Okay. Now you can add one more, or we can wait. Okay. That's fine. 2 to 3 textures, I think, would be perfect. All right. Now comes adding the text. Okay. Now we're going to open up Adobe Illustrator. And I know that a lot of you haven't used Adobe Illustrator, and that's okay. This one's fairly simple. Okay, we're going to go to our text tool, right? I'm going to do just a normal, so you can go to web, you can go to common. That should be good enough for us. And I'm just going to hit some text here, right? And I'm going to put here, I'm going to put McDonald's here. Yeah, I'm going to change the font to something bold. I don't want it to have a lot of texture. I don't want it to have a lot of grunge or even a lot of flair. For this one, I want it to be fairly simple. That way it will blend well. Okay, when you do these kind of blends, you don't want nothing too crazy. So I'm going to go with this. Okay. I'm going to stretch mine out a little bit just because I don't like the way that looks. All right. Good. Here I am. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this. I'm going to hit Control C and Control V. All right. Now, one thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we can see our layer here. We need to make sure that the one on top is on top. Okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to change this to white. I'm going to actually go just a little bit off white so we can see it still a little bit. Okay, and then our bottom one should be black there. All right, we're going to select them both. Okay, using the selection tool. All right, we're going to just select them both. We're going to go to Object, Blend, Make. It's going to give you this little 3-step process. Okay, it's not what we're looking for. All right, so we're going to go to Object again. While our stuff is still selected there, we're going to go to Blend again. We're going to go to Blend Options. And we're going to switch this from smooth color to specified steps. And we're going to make this a pretty high number, about 300. Okay. I'm going to hit OK. That'll give me this nice smooth gradient. Okay. Now, we're pretty much done here. Okay. We're pretty much done with this. Except for we need to do the warping. Okay, so now we need to use this selection tool, this white all filled in arrow. Okay, we're just going to click and drag over this here. All right, and then we have it selected. You can tell by having all these lines there. We're going to go to Type, and we're going to do Create Outlines. All right, now we should see this kind of highlighted. Once we've created our outlines, we're going to hit Shift R. Shift R. That's going to bring up this warp tool. Okay, so we're going to bring it up and we're going to warp this text however we think we need to. You're probably thinking, well, maybe I don't need to. Well, too bad. You're going to, practice with it a little bit today. If we mess up, just Control Z. That'll bring that back to reality there. Excuse me. We're done. Great. Let's hit our selection tool there. We're gonna click and drag, make sure that we have everything selected. We're gonna hit Control C to copy it. We're gonna go back to Photoshop. We're gonna hit Control V. Okay. We're gonna hit Pixels. We're gonna click OK. All right. Then we'll just need to readjust the size to fit where we want it or need it. Okay, I'm going to click OK. So now it's at the very top of our layers. All right, we need to bring that down. If we hold Control, we hit our bracket to the left, right? That'll take it downwards. That's kind of what we want to see there. We want it behind the texture. Okay. And what we can do then is we can add a different gradient map to this one, okay, to give it a different effect. Okay, if this is what you like, that's cool too, but I'm going to add a different gradient map just to kind of show you. So again, I'm going to go down here to my half circle. I'm going to hit gradient map, and I am going to choose something different. Okay, Again, I'm gonna go to the ones that y'all have, so we're not different here. And I'm gonna go with, I don't know, let's say, it's kind of hard to see, but we'll go with maybe this one. Okay, then we'll hit OK. We can maybe reverse that. Okay, what I don't want to do is I don't want to affect my background. Okay, what I don't want to do is I don't want to affect my background, so I'm going to create what I told you earlier, right? I'm going to create a clipping mask. So right click, create clipping mask. So now it only affects my bottom layer here, right? And what you want is you want your brightest colors to be off on this side, right? So like even here, I'm going to adjust a little bit. Give me a second. Hey, so since I accidentally got interrupted while I was recording, let's take time for a commercial break. Rest your fingers, relax them a little bit. Y'all are too tense, okay? But anyways, as we're on a commercial break, I want to let you guys know that yearbooks are on sale right now for $40. But guess what? That price is about to go up. All right, we're about to increase our price to $45 right this weekend. Okay, so get your yearbook now. All right, I have a QR code somewhere in my room that you can scan. If not, get with me, get more information from me so that you can order your yearbook. All right, I know that you're freshmen. I know you're like, oh, this is stupid. It's expensive. Suck it up. Okay, when I paid $85, $90, almost 20 years ago for my yearbook, you didn't see me complaining. Okay, I did complain, but you didn't see me do it. All right, and either way, right? $45 for a yearbook, $40 for a yearbook. It's not a bad price. I promise you that. So get your yearbook now before it's too late. Right? We will stop taking orders in April. So get your yearbook before it's too late. All right. I'm going to tell you one more time. Get your yearbook before it's too late. All right. Do it ASMR style. Get your yearbook before it's too late. I don't even know if this is working or not. But either way, get your yearbook. All right. So, yeah. Now, let's get back to your regularly scheduled content. So, again, this is going to be however you kind of want to work with this, right? And I'm not expecting too crazy. Now, you will see that because of the top gradient map here, right, it does affect this bottom one too. So if I were to take this down, see how these colors change to the colors that I'm looking at here. All right, so what we need to do is we need to create a clipping mask here. So create a clipping mask. Okay, and so maybe this was not the best idea. Okay, so let's go back here and let's try for something maybe a little bit different. I don't know if I'm finding what I like here. Yeah. Or, I mean, it's just playing around with it, right? The video kind of explains how to use multiple clipping masks. That's going to be up to you if you want to go back and rewatch that. I'm still struggling with that. I'm still working on it, but there's that process, right? Again, then I want you to just add maybe one or two little features that kind of go along with this, right? So I'm going to go ahead off my screen here. And I'm going to get like a McDonald's logo that I like, and I'm gonna kind of add it to our deal here, right? So I kind of like something here. I'm gonna download that. I'm gonna bring that in. Okay, and make sure that's in the front here. Oh, still not all the way in the front. Okay. So I'll do something like this. And then I can throw it behind there just to kind of give it that sense of texture above it. Okay. And then you can feel free to kind of add on whatever else you think you may kind of need, right? Um, I think it's a fairly straightforward idea, so we can kind of roll with that. If you are still struggling, okay, that is okay. Let me know. Oh, I forgot the last step. Sorry. That is to liquefy our text, right? So we select our text layer that we brought in. We're going to go to filter. We're going to go to liquefy. Okay. All you're going to do is make sure that you have this, right? Well, you don't want it too big. So I would say 50 to 80. Okay. You want your pressure all the way up, right? And then what you want to do is you want to drag some of this stuff down, just to make it look like it's melting a little bit, right? That's the purpose of this. You just kind of play with it. No right or wrong when it comes to it, but and a lot of this might be covered by your image anyway. So that's going to be kind of just playing with that there. I'm gonna drag some of the white down so that it kind of gives it more of a gradient effect. And then I'm going to hit OK. And you'll see now we got a couple more layers in our stuff there. And that is the process of creating your album cover. Okay. Then what you'll do is you'll file, export, quick export as a PNG, and you will submit that into the folder for today. Again, I don't know if captions are going to be on this or not, but either way, I tried to take it as slow as I could. If you still have questions, let me know. Again, play around with it, do your best, and we will see you guys in the next tutorial that I have to recreate because people on YouTube don't really know how to create good tutorials. Anyway, if you're struggling, let me know. We'll work with it. Again, you need to find an artist, some type of image, and I'm looking for gradient mapping. I'm looking for text manipulation. I am looking for layers, textures, right? Additions. I'm looking for all that stuff. If those things are not included in the assignment, you will not get a good grade. All right. Have a good day. Peace. I'll see you in class like right now because you're in my class.